Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today we are taking a look at the Transformers Generations Legacy United Autobots Stand United 5-pack. We've got 5 Autobots here in a really long, needlessly long product name. We have repaints of 5 figures from previous lines. We have Studio Series Jazz repainted. We have Earthrise Sunstreaker, Earthrise Wheeljack, Earthrise Trailbreaker, and then a Legacy Detritus finally repainted as Hound. I think this is the only mold that it's, Hound here is the only mold that is kind of new. We have seen this before as Detritus from, the previous line, but we didn't get the Hound version before. We did get, obviously, this is a remold of Siege Hound, but what we have are all 5 characters and a unified color scheme, which is very interesting to me. I wanted to pick it up, see how they look. I'm surprised. This is technically, I think, Transformers Generation Selects Legacy United. So this Generation Selects line is apparently still alive and kicking around. But to me, I was wondering why this wasn't released under Studio Series. It feels like it's trying to do the Studio Series thing, other than the fact that maybe Studio Series could have some different engineering. But to me, this is taking these toys and making them like as cartoon accurate as possible. And I'm not complaining about that, even though I may not be the target audience for it. I actually was looking around. I mean, I have all these molds, but I have them as different characters. So there's not really value in me comparing like this Jazz to the G2 Orange Jazz, because like that, what people want to see is this next to the Studio Series, which I don't have. I don't have Wheeljack. I have Exhaust. I don't have Trailbreaker. I have his buddy. People are gonna roast me for not remembering. And obviously, I have Detritus instead of Hound. The one I do have, I have Earthrise Sunstreaker. So we can see here how the two toys compare. And this is some unfortunate QC issue on my part. There is a mar in the paint scheme. That, is a one-off thing. It's not something I'm going to knock the toy for, but it does suck. But comparing the two next to each other, we obviously have a painted blue windshield. And I've talked before about how I prefer a painted windshield versus a transparent windshield. But Sunstreaker is the weird exception to that rule because they did a transparent windshield with silver paint behind it, and I love the way that looks. So this is one of those rare cases where there is a difference. Now, we do have, obviously, paint on the windshields, so this is unpainted plastic, so it's all yellow plastic that's been painted over. And I do think that looks better. That's a better match than, this here. We do have this silver back end, which is a little odd for me. But I guess it was necessary to, something cartoon accuracy somewhere. And then obviously we've got 2 Autobot symbols here. So this is really the only one-for-one comparison. I have reviewed all of these molds before. They all, roll pretty fine. Trailbreaker might be the worst one. And yeah, he still is the worst one. And it's really just these fists and trying to cram them up as high as possible so they don't catch on things. But they do catch on things. Going through, the paint apps in general are really, really nice. We have Jazz here. I really like the two-tone here. That looks awesome. He might visually be my favorite of the bunch. He does that Jazz Studio Series mold thing where he's got his big old honking feet on the back end. I do wish this was white, but I recognize that wouldn't be accurate to robot mode. He comes with his gun up top. He's got a really nice, unblemished racing stripe going down. I do kind of wish it connected, or this was painted light blue to fill out the windshield. But silver wheels look really good just in general. He looks pretty gorgeous. Painted headlights, the front bumper, all that stuff looks really nice. Sunstreaker, I already talked about. I think I like this yellow more, this lighter yellow, but this is more accurate. We have this new black paint app here. We've got silver on the back end. They swapped around, painting, instead of painting the plastic up here, they're painting the windshield down here. We've got the bumper is painted a little differently, a little bigger, a little more prominent, which is neat. We've got the Autobot symbol. The wheels are painted on both of these. And then because we have these black pieces here, these gray pieces here. We don't have yellow back here, which I think, you know, is a fine choice. It's just a matter of which one you like better. Wheeljack ends up looking a little plain, but I think that's just true to his cartoon nature. But he still looks good, and it is a good Lancia mold. There is some mismatch. I don't know how well it's coming off on camera, but the white plastic does not fully match this white paint because that is a gray fist down there, which is interesting to me. I wonder why they don't go the other way, because you'd think that they would do white plastic and then paint on top, because painting a darker paint on a lighter base coat would be easier to me. I don't know. But yeah, overall, he looks pretty dang good. Nothing really new to talk about in these molds. There is some looseness. We can see here, you know, things not fully pegging in as tightly as they could. These two seemed fine. Trailbreaker is the worst in this case. His whole back end really hangs in super loosely here. It feels like it could come off with some shaking. It didn't fully come off, but, you know, a little loose. You know, minor paint app here, but the windshield's, again, painted in fully. And I do like the color they picked out for Trailbreaker. This lighter, I mean, it's a dark gray, but it's a lighter dark gray than previous is really good. I am annoyed that this, you know, all they could do is the rim on this back wheel. You know, everything else rolls fine. Trailbreaker is the only one that really struggles in that department. We do have taillights painted out. We do have, it's hard to tell, but those headlights are actually picked out in paint. You know, it looks pretty dang good. And then Hound, obviously I've reviewed Detritus already, but Hound looks good. His windshield is probably the weirdest one out of all of them, because everyone else is a closed canopy. But Hound having, like, if someone is sitting back here and you see this opaque blue, it doesn't work as well, in my opinion, but it still looks good. We have, you know, some military details picked out. This light green paint extends to the rims here. And yeah, overall, I mean, he's a fun looking toy. Rolls real nicely. And, you know, these two, I'd say, are the weaker molds, but I think a lot of people are probably picking this up specifically for this Earthrise, Earth mode, you know, Hound. And then they're pleasantly surprised by picking the rest of these guys up. We have done the transformation on everyone already, so this is going to be fast forwarded. All right, it's time to announce the winner of Transformers Generation Studio Series 8625 Blaster and Eject. Over here on the left, we have all the comments on the video. If you answered the question for the giveaway and you wanted another giveaway, you got a heart. That's what let me keep track of who all entered. So here is everyone, and out of these comments, we had, let's see, 28 entries, and let's see who our winner is. Ran between 1 and 28. Our winner is number 24, El Potato. El Potato, congrats. The question was about Masterpiece. Yeah, I'm curious to see what that sort of branding ends up being. We'll have to see. But congratulations again, El Potato. Reach out to me on the various social medias, and I'll get Blaster packed up and shipped out your way as soon as possible. And here are all 5 all transformed. And again, it's a pretty good looking group. The toys are, the transformation part of the toys is still pretty solid. It's not too loose, a little fiddly in some areas, but overall, I mean, these are just 5 really nice deluxes. If we work backwards this time, Hound still looks pretty solid. I like, everything about him. He just feels a little on the small side, but it's the same complaint I had about the original mold. I like the added yellow here. I think that helps out his color scheme a lot, giving some contrast to the dark olive green and the dark grays. I think he looks, pretty nice overall. And again, all the articulation is stuff we've seen before. Trailbreaker, once again, looks pretty fantastic. The added light blue, I think, helps him out a lot in not being so monotone. That attached to this darker but not so dark gray. His feet are the same problem they kind of always were, but overall, again, I think he looks really, really good. I prefer this to the Earthrise version. Wheeljack looks fantastic. I think the painted windshield actually is a little less slimming than the transparent one, but I like the silver on the back end of his wings here. The head sculpt is painted really nicely. I don't know, maybe I didn't show Hound's, but that is also painted really nicely. Trailbreaker is one of those things where the only thing painted is his eyes, but it's still, picked out in a slightly different blue than the windshield, which helps. Wheeljack, I do want to compare him. I just did the review of Origins Wheeljack. So here are two takes on the same character, and for whatever reason, this head feels, the one on the right feels just a little more lively, and it might be the fact that it's light blue eyes instead of the dark blue eyes. But holding these up next to each other, I kind of like how we have, two versions of G1 Wheeljack. This is the beginning of episode 1. This is the end of episode 1. I dig it a lot. I like how they look next to each other. I think that looks fantastic. Then we have Sunstreaker. And Sunstreaker, again, I do have the Earthrise toy. Sunstreaker looks pretty great. I unfortunately have that mark marring my windshield. But, similar paint apps. Again, the same stuff that applied before. The bumper on the front is a little different. We do have some added yellow paint here, which is interesting versus this one, which was, black trans. So I'm trying to think, is that sculpted differently? Because this is yellow plastic, right? Yellow, oh no, it's yellow plastic with a black plastic piece on top of it, I assume, around it. Whereas this is two pieces of gray and then it's picked up. That's just an interesting difference. I wonder what was the cause of that. And then we have these black accents here. But again, the painted face, I think just a gray painted face, light gray painted face, to me, in this case, it still is a little more animated looking than the silver paint. I do like that a lot. And last but not least is Jazz. Jazz looks pretty dang good. Again, I have a small, can we get things in focus? I have a small mark on my face, which is unfortunate, but overall he just looks great. It's a fun set. I don't think we need to talk about articulation because these are standard, War for Cybertron Deluxes, and I've already reviewed their original figures several times over at this point. This is, I don't know, the fourth reuse of the molds sometimes. They've gotten a lot of use out of them, but I would recommend this set. This is an easy recommendation. For $110, each of these sells for $25. Even if these sold for $100, because you can find things most of the time at like Target for $10 off. If you were buying, 5 deluxes for $100, that's $20 a deluxe. The price is increased to $25. So now this would be $125 and you'd be saving $15 if you don't have some of these figures already. If you, for whatever reason, if you don't want Hound, he's going to be the pick of the pack that everyone's going to be wanting to buy. You could probably flip Hound for, $10 over asking or something, $35 or something like that. Keep the rest for yourself. But I would say if you are a new collector and you want to fill out your Autobots, this is a great box set to pick up. If you're a diehard G1 collector and you want the most G1 Autobots possible, well, then this is a great set to pick out. It's really the only thing that people will probably have a problem with the set is the fact that it is a box set. So the asking price is higher. It's 5 toys. It's going to be $110, and people probably would prefer just pay $25 just for Hound. But you know, keep hope alive. Maybe we'll get Hound by himself or some other way if you don't want to buy the 5-pack. But I would suggest, you know, picking it up if you can afford it. They're just fun toys. They're solid toys. This makes me feel G1 nostalgia, even though I don't have a lot of G1 nostalgia. It's got a very, very nice team set to it. And I wouldn't mind more like this. It's unfortunate for me, I don't need any of these guys, and I don't particularly want any of these versions. I like the repaints when they're new characters. That's what kind of tickles my pickle. So I am doing a giveaway. I'm actually going to do there's two ways to win this set. Just like last week when I did the giveaway, down in the comments below there will be a question of the day, and I'll post the question of the day. You can enter it for free that way, but there will also be a way to support a charity event that we're pretty passionate about. Support some sick kids and enter that way. So if you want, you could have up to 2 entries on it. So question of the day is really a request of the day. Go down in the comments. You'll see in the video description or on our social media, hey, we have our Extra Life campaign page up and running by the time this video comes out, hopefully, knock on wood. The free way to enter is just share that page. We're raising money for Cincinnati Children's Hospital. If you don't know, this is something Arbitrary Hero does every year. I'm getting an early start on it this year. And I originally was thinking of just keeping this as a prize for the Cincinnati Children's Hospital, like our big Transformers raffle prize, which we're still putting together. But I figured, why not do a mini raffle? So go down to the comments. Let me know, hey, yes, I shared the Extra Life page on my social media. I shared it with my friends. You know, anything like that, we appreciate it. Get the word out there that we're doing this once again. All the information is down in that Extra Life link. The money that we raise goes straight to Cincinnati Children's Hospital. We don't even touch the money. Every dollar you donate goes straight to helping the sick children served by Cincinnati Children's Hospital. Cincinnati Children's Hospital does some excellent work. They've got a really good children's cancer ward. They've won multiple awards for their care and their research. It's something that we are very passionate about. I don't have my full talking points because I'm still in the middle of building that campaign up. But we are raising money once again, and in the first week of November, we'll do our big Transformers raffle. But if you want to enter the paid way, go to that Extra Life link. Hit that button, hit the donate button, donate $1. That's right, $1, and you'll be entered in to win this box set. All 5 of these figures. I'll box them back up and ship them out to the winner. I'm going to pick one name, so I'm going to put all the free names together with all the paid names. If you did the free and the paid, then you have your name in there twice. And we'll do the raffle winner next week like normal. This won't be like anything special on the raffle, but that is the plan. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye.